Mic check. Oh, yeah, we in the building. Mic check. What happened? Okay. Okay. So I don't know what's going on with the audio. Mic check. Turn everything down a little bit. Okay, mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check. Can you hear me at home? Can anybody hear me at home? All right. Get the live stream going. It's gonna be a minute, so y'all go ahead and share the show. It's gonna be a minute. I gotta get the vertical live set up. But don't even trip with the dip. Potato chip. Happy Monday, everybody, man. Oh man, that thumbnail look good too. That thumbnail look good. We look good. We look good today. Sanders goes to Cleveland. Sanders goes to Cleveland. You're gonna chop it up. All right. All right. All right. We live on the backup channel. All right, we'll put that bitch in there like that. And we do that like that. And we get the going, and okay, we got sound, and we going live. What we doing? Okay. How's everybody doing? Okay, this is the magic, man. We making the magic happen, man. Making the magic happen. How's everybody doing Monday morning? Monday morning, we gonna do a duo live. I haven't been feeling well, so I got my mask on. Mask on. Fucking mask off. Mask on. So I got my mask on. Haven't been feeling well, but we gotta get it in, man. People be waiting on the podcast, so we getting it in, man. We got Sanders going to Cleveland of all places. I mean, come on, man. So this is a conversation to have, man. We got Power Out. Power Out. How you gonna say blackout? Blackout in Spain, Portugal, France. We'll talk about that if we got time. And France. Uh, and Baby Donk is trending. Let's see how this come out. Cause y'all know I'm dyslexic, man. Now, man, YouTube ain't shit, boy. How I lose a viewer. I'm watching myself, you motherfuckers. Hey, how you feeling? How you doing, man? What's up with you, mate? BD came in with his daily salutations, man. What's up with you, mate? I know you want to play a video. I don't really see you play too many sports games, but you gotta let me know, man, how you feel about the sports, man. You know what I'm saying? How you do you feel? I don't know you play a lot of sports games, but what you think about the sports, man? So I'm just getting the live stream together, man. We gonna have a good time today, like we do every day, man. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and share the show, man, while I do. Hey, I'm telling you, man. Hey, look. This thing that we do here, ain't no joke, man. It is not easy. Hey, I'm telling you right now, man. 'Cause check this out. I'm blind. I'm dyslexic, and I'm trying to type. How? You know what I'm saying? How am I typing and I'm blind and dyslexic? You know what I'm saying? But God is good. We're gonna get through it, man. But we just getting the live stream together right now. Y'all tap in, share the show, let everybody know we live on the backup channel. Hey, salute, Big Day. I didn't even know you were subscribed to the backup channel. So we're gonna find out how many people today is subscribed to the backup channel. My boy said I play a couple sports games, except man, after that game. He got some trauma. We didn't struck a nerve, ladies and gentlemen. BDB got some drama, some trauma, some man trauma. Tell me about it, man. Was it a pair of Jordans? Was it what happened, man? Your cousin, man, stole your PS2. You know what I'm saying? You know, we was having a conversation about video game systems and like what system, because like me and you, I'm older than you, but you older than my wife, and so I was talking to her about video game systems and what video game system you was born into. He said, I sell to them all. Salute to you, bro. So like some of us remember the PS1. So I'm old. I had an Atari 2600. I had an Atari 7200. I had ColecoVision. You know what I'm saying? So I'm old. So I had all type of different shit. But I was asking my wife, like, what do you remember? Do you remember the white PlayStation or you remember the black PlayStation? Because the white PlayStation was the PS1. What PlayStation, what was the video game, and was it, because I don't even know if they grew up like with Nintendo 64. Like, I think they was like more the GoldenEye. Who remember GoldenEye 007? Y'all remember when I remember buying GoldenEye 007 for my kids. So I remember the different, my wife is young, man. But yeah, I remember the different generations. And this has a lot to do with our last conversation, you know what I'm saying, about the generations and stuff like that. But what was the video game system? What was the video game system you grew up on? So my brother said I came up Atari. See Atari. My pops bought it, and as soon as he placed that controller in my hands, the rest was it. Yo, I got my sound effects back again, man. So let's see how we gonna go. Let's see how we doing this morning, man. So I got my sound effects back again. We in the studio. We going live. Okay, so now, okay. We live. Back at it like a crack at it. Automatic like a Fomatic. Built for tragedy, made for static. It's your boy, Perfect Timing Podcast. Back with the blast, in and out with a dash. We're going to get this done real fast. 2025 won't last. So get your funky scuttlebutt ass in the building. Oh man. I don't even know if the people on the cell phone can hear that, man. But see, y'all got to tap into both channels. You got BDB on this channel, man. Y'all got to subscribe and watch on both channels. We're going up right now, man. It's going to be a good day, man. We're feeling good today, man. Cleveland Brown, Golden Brown. Y'all know that song, Cleveland Browns. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? 5th round, Shula Saunders, Deion Sanders. We did a live thumbnail, man. You know what I'm saying? We got a live thumbnail, man. We got a live show. Y'all gave me an opportunity to put my shit on, man. I had my what did I wear last? What was the last podcast? Oh, Denver Broncos, man. We chopped up Shannon Sharpe, man. Not the sharpest tool in the shed. Shannon ain't as sharp as your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Your boy feeling good today. I got my orange mane on. Yeah, man. I got the jersey, the badge, everything looking good, man. Yeah, Shannon Sharpe, not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I got to wear my Denver Broncos jersey last time. So now this time, I get to wear my Cleveland Brown. I want to say thank you to everybody, man. Let me wear my My Cleveland Brown. Thank you for giving me an opportunity to wear my Cleveland Browns jersey, man. I got several jerseys. Hey, Angry Man just did a short talking about some chicken head was saying, oh, why men wearing jerseys? I don't want my man to wear a jersey. You know how much these jerseys cost, man? You know what I'm saying? A real one. If your man probably ain't got a jersey with this on it right here, man. Or what? Or this the real thing, man. It's $150 to $300, man. This is what they wear on the field, man. This is a real Cleveland Browns jersey. So I don't know what she's talking about. I don't want my man wearing a football jersey. That's because he can't afford one. That's why he ain't wearing no football jersey. I don't want to hear that, man. Player haters, man. Player haters, man. Hey, who is happy for the Cleveland Browns? Cleveland Browns been in the news. There's a lot to talk about, man. Cleveland Browns been in the news, man. Deshaun Watson, you know what I'm saying? Look at the thumbnail. What's that guy? Is that Flacco? They want that quarterback to come back. Now you draft Shonda Sanders. What is going on? And then Cleveland said, oh, it's my fault. Deshaun Watson is my fault. Deshaun, we take full credit. And they gave Deshaun Watson $280 million, $300 million guaranteed. And then you're going to draft. Is there any money to pay Sanders? And what about Flacco? You want to bring back who going to play quarterback? This is way more complicated than the 5th round draft pick. This is way more complicated than the Deion Sanders. This is way more complicated than anything everybody's talking about. What happens in Cleveland stays in Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? What happens in Cleveland stays in Cleveland. And Shula Sanders, I bet, will not make it out of Cleveland. Nothing good has happened in Cleveland in about 50,000. They couldn't get it right. Cleveland can't get it right on the coach. Cleveland can't get it right on the quarterback. If Cleveland can't get right, and this is where you want to send the star college phenom to Cleveland. Cleveland Brown. Why we got to go to Cleveland, man? Why we got to go to Cleveland, man? Don't make no sense, man. Why we got to go to Cleveland? Everybody worried about 5th round. It's deeper than 5th round. It's deeper than 5th round because where they sent him was a non-starter. Dude, who sees Shula Sanders playing or starting or getting anything done this season? I mean, Cleveland is oh my God. Even let's say Cleveland was ready. Let's say Cleveland had the money. Let's say Cleveland had the wherewithal. Let's say Cleveland had the front office. Let's say Cleveland had the leadership. I still say they're not prepared and to be the catalyst that Sanders needs. No. If Cleveland was prepared to do the job, then they would have got it done with old boy. If Cleveland was prepared to do the job, then they could have got it done with Deshaun. But they threw away $300 million. What money is left? So are they going to have a shootout? Who plays quarterback now? Is it going to be a different quarterback every quarter? We got 3 quarterbacks. We got 4 quarters. Who playing quarterback? I need to know who playing quarterback. Who playing in the chat right now? Who do you want to play quarterback? Who do you want to play quarterback? I need to know. Who do you want to play quarterback for Cleveland? Because this is a real question. Because I just did a show on Deshaun Watson. And everybody saying we want Deshaun Watson now. The leadership and Cleveland Browns said, it's my fault. I'm sorry about Deshaun Watson. Everybody thought the other dude is coming back. Is it Flacco? I think it's Flacco. They said we want the old quarterback back. So if you look at my thumbnail, it's 3 different quarterbacks now. 3 different quarterbacks in play at Cleveland. The leadership at Cleveland. I think this is a joke, man. Everybody focusing on the 5th round and how Sanders fell, but it's this humiliation ritual, bullying, shaming, whatever you want to call it, is more than that. Because it's not just a 5th round draft pick. It's going to a desert. Cleveland with my Cleveland jersey on. Cleveland Browns is where black quarterbacks go to die. There's no successful black quarterbacks. There's nothing happening in Cleveland. So not only did Schuler Sanders drop to the 5th round, but he went to Tatooine. You know what I'm saying? I started off in Dagobah. Now I'm way out in, I started off in Tatooine. Now I'm way out in the Dagobah system. You know, they sent Schuler Sanders to the Dagobah system. They sent Deion Baby to the Dagobah to train with I started off in Tatooine, now way out in the Dagobah. You know what I'm saying? That's what they sent this brother to BFE. You know what I'm saying? There's no Super Bowl hopeful. That nobody had Cleveland. I got a Cleveland Brown jersey. Nobody had Cleveland Brown and they picks to go to the Super Bowl, to go to the playoffs. None of that shit. Nobody had Cleveland Brown to do nothing. So it's not just a 5th round pick. It's the fact that he goes to a desolate, dormant, dumb and destitute team. Freaking Cleveland. Oh, I made a mistake. A $300 million mistake. A $300 million mistake. So we trust you now. We're going to trust you with Sanders. He's a fucking premium pick. What the dude? Look, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. Cleveland didn't protect Deshaun. Cleveland didn't protect the white boy. So what makes you think the Cleveland line, like Deion said, I'm worried about what team my son go to. Well, shit, Jiminy Crackers. Jiminy Crackers. You need to be worried about him going to Cleveland. You definitely need to be worried about him going to Cleveland. Who's going to protect him in Cleveland? Who's going to protect him in Cleveland? Who's going to be calling the plays? Who is the great mastermind? Who's the offensive coach in Cleveland? Who's a defensive man? They got their coaching. Remember, they the subject of the lawsuit. Remember the black coaching, like Cleveland has been plagued since they came back. They had the black coach. Then they had the jux of the black coach. What's this? The Brady rule. Somebody put it in the chat. The Bradley rule, where you only have to interview a black coach and you don't have, they're in the middle of that. They're in the middle of Deshaun. And and everybody, oh my, Jiminy Cricket, Jiminy Crackers. I mean, when we talk about Trump, like my channel is a conservative focused channel. We talk about Trump and oh my goodness, like I voted for Trump. We support Trump, but it's beyond that. We talking about conservative, traditional family values. And I tell you, brothers and sisters, the way that black men, especially baby boomer black men, men of a certain age, have been acting with these certain issues. It's Jason Whitlock, and it's like there's a chorus and a trumpet of these black men who, and even online saying, oh, it's not racial. Like no one, this is the thing, you need to be worried about a black guy who's always talking about race when no one else is bringing up race. No one else is bringing up race. But Jason Whitlock and all these other guys they're calling other people race baiters, but Jason Whitlock is doing most of the race baiting. Jason Whitlock is doing most of the race baiting. What's up with your Big Daddy Beard Gaming in the building? Minecraft avatar. Yeah, man. Yeah, we getting it done on both sides of the fence, man. Yeah, man. So it's deeper than what everybody think, man. It's deeper than what everybody think, man. So of course race is involved. It's America. You know what I'm saying? It's sports in America. So what is Jason Whitlock? What is the peanut gallery? What is the peanut? Look, y'all want to do a poll? Let's do a poll, man. Y'all look, did Schuler did he go in the right order? Did he go in the right order? I want to know. Do y'all think he went in the right order? Did he go in the right order? Y'all let me know. We about to do a poll real quick. I want to know if Schuler said, did he go because they saying he is a 5th-round quarterback. So it's like these guys come out to justify all the wrongdoing. Oh, it's not bad. It's not just that he went in the 5th round, it's that he went to the Cleveland Browns. Is he going to start? Is there someone who can grow his talent in Cleveland? Is there a defensive line who can protect him? Do they play the same football that there's so much to unpack. It's not just a 5th-round draft pick. It's the fact that he went to the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns is a brand new football team. It's not the same Cleveland Brown. Me and Big Daddy Beer Gaming was just having a conversation about gaming consoles on the other channel. Right now, I'm simulcasting via StreamYard. If you want to sign up for StreamYard, I can start putting a link and you can get a discount. You can use my code and get a discount on StreamYard. I know you guys like a lot of my shorts. So my shorts, the AI that's producing the shorts, so a lot of the YouTubers be asking me about my tricks and about my secrets. There's no gatekeeping. StreamYard is my friend. So I use StreamYard. I stream through StreamYard and they create my AI. So if you guys want to create really good AI for your content and good shorts to help your subscribers grow and help your content grow, what I'm going to do for everybody watching is I'll put the link to the StreamYard in my bio, in my description. That way, if you're a content creator and you watch my content and you want to create and have great podcasts and great live streams with great audio and visual effects, I'm gonna get you over there. I'm gonna get you over there to StreamYard, and I'll get you the link. I'll put that in my description for you guys. So we were talking about gaming consoles and different levels of gaming consoles, and I actually forget why I even brought that up because I started doing my StreamYard commercial. You know? I started doing my StreamYard commercial, so I forget why I brought that up. But let me go here. Let me go here. What y'all think about Deshaun Watson going in the 5th round? And the conversation today is focused on the 5th round. No one has talked about Cleveland Browns as an organization. You know what I'm saying? For my son. Now think about this from Deion. If you look at my thumbnail, and I do create thumbnails so I can help you out with the StreamYard, help you with your podcast, with your StreamYard. I can help you out with your thumbnail. It's a lot of things I could provide to you if you're a content creator. Tap in with me. Follow me on Instagram. Shout out to my brother Mark Woke TV. That's another content creator that I collab with. You see my brother BDBGP. He does gaming and he does music. That's another content creator that I collab with. So y'all, if y'all want to get some fire thumbnails or you just need some, it's a couple brothers that I mentor and I give advice to. You could tap in with me on Instagram and I'll be more than happy to share with you everything I've learned on my YouTube journey. It's not real easy, you know what I'm saying? And it's not easy. It could be difficult at times, but I got your back, man. We in this, man. So check this out, man. So we are talking today about Shula Sanders going in the 5th round. We got a blackout in Spain, Portugal, and France. Now, I was super, super interested in the blackout, right? A lot hasn't came out about the blackout, but I know more will come out about. So some people are saying in the chat, I saw my brother Jay the Transformer in here. I see Zach in here. Jay said he leaving. All right, this Joy said he leave. This might not be, which is he's supposed to be white. This isn't. Minecraft, that's what I say. The weed fucks up his brain. Y'all might have a QB Lamar 2.0 school. Minecraft, Will Smith. Hey, Will Smith going mad. What's up with you, man? Shined up, period. Cleveland is brown. Cleveland Brown. You know what I'm saying? Juice. Shout out to Juice. Shout out to Joy, RG Baklava. Hey, who got the Baklava New Balance, man? I like the Baklava New Balance, man. Double tap the screen, hit the thumbs up, man. Shout out to anybody who's what's the Action Bronson fan. I'm a chef. I like to cook. I'm a chef. Double tap and thumbs up the screen, man. Double tap and thumbs up the screen. Did I shout out to everybody? Who is that? Mojito Jimenez. Y'all might have a QB. We might have a QB. Okay, so do you think I can see how a lot of Cleveland Browns fans could be excited, but how many times at Cleveland Brown, it's almost like a bad date, man. You know what I'm saying? Being a Cleveland Browns fan is almost like getting catfish. Put a thumb in the chat, man. If you're a Cleveland Brown fan and you tired of getting catfish, you know what I'm saying? The bitch be online, the bitch be pretty as hell, you know what I'm saying? I like fat bitches, man, but I like fat bitches with kneecaps, you know what I'm saying? I see a cute bitch with a nice fat face, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for a thumbnail, so I'm scrolling. I'm looking for full body, full body, full body, full body, full body, full body. Full body, full body, full body, full body, full body. Finally, I get to a full body picture, and from the waist down, the bitch look like a Muppet. I need a big bitch with some kneecaps. And you know why? And you know why I need you to have kneecaps. You know what I'm saying? Telling you, man, I need me a producer, man. I talked to my old producer this weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit ain't easy, man. Double tap the screen, hit the like button, man. This ain't easy, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't easy being cheesy, man. It ain't easy being cheesy, man. If you're with the ism, man, let them know, man. So we getting this shit going, man. Who was that just came in, man? Boom back, man. What's up with the zeros, man? Go ahead and hit the Cash App. How about you hit the Cash App, thumbs up, double tap the screen. Go ahead and donate. The Cash App is, hey, you know what? It ain't no ticker. It ain't. Let me put my Cash App in here, man. You know, it ain't no ticker on the $ BIG Big D Reds. That's my Cash App. Go ahead and hit the cash. You know, nobody ever put my Cash App in there. I just realized it ain't no ticker. It ain't no ticker on the virtual live, man. So check this out, man. So we going in, man. And we talking about Sheila Sanders, and we talking about the blackout. We're talking about the blackout, right? I was just doing a little recap on the blackout real quick. Y'all know I want to talk about the blackout because one of my favorite topics that we've talked about here before, because I live in Northern California, and we have something called brownouts here in Northern California, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar. So California and Texas, as far as America, California and Texas is unique about how power and everything works in California and Texas, right? So you got the brownouts because of the antiquated power grids in California and Texas. You got the brownouts, right? That are mandatory when we get like 115 degrees. So we got PG&E, people got Con Edison, SMUD. So the power company in California has commercials on the radio and on television telling people prepare for outages because the California power grid can't sustain everyone having power when it's 115 degrees. So they do something called brownouts, to where there's even been lawsuits because some people in low-income areas say that PG&E or the power companies purposely turn power off in low-income areas so that people in affluent areas get to keep power, right? Because we got these Beverly Hills swimming pools and these big mansions. So you got to cool the pool, you got to cool the mansion, and a lot of the power gets diverted from the inner city. Don't this sound familiar? Don't this sound like the Eden debacle where all of the houses burned down in Eden? And then we learned about it's not enough water and fire hydrants ran dry. So you know I had to talk about the power outage in Spain and what. So some people are saying it's a some of the leadership is saying that, and this is what we're gonna come to find out. So we learning a lot about AI in these recent weeks, right? We're learning a lot about espionage in these recent weeks, and the world is changing. With Trump winning the election, I don't know if the people are prepared about what like serious thing, because I don't think we don't have a serious people right now, which is where I got the man. I do my live stream, but people not really paying attention. I don't think people are clued in, paying attention to what's going on in the world right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the first thing I wanted to know is I asked Google, I said, because they're saying Portugal, Spain, France, and some people say Germany. So we had power grid issues during the pandemic, right? We had power grid issues, not just power grid, but water treatment plants. So this is one of the things I'll share with my audience, right? So during the pandemic, you did not have people paying power bills, paying their water bill. One of the things that happens when you pay your water bill and you pay your power bill is maintenance occurs at the water treatment plant and at the power grid. So for 2 to 3 years, we had a moratorium on rent and bills because no one was working. We told everybody to stay inside. This is an offshoot of Anthony Fauci telling everybody to stay inside and 6 feet apart, right? So no one paid the energy bill. So after people start going back to work, what was discussed about city planning, city managers is we are suffering. We are suffering because, okay, we get it. We also was out of work. But what happened when nobody was paying and nobody was working? See, it's a two-sided coin. Number one, the citizens weren't able to pay water bills and power bills, but also you told citizens not to go to work. So the people who worked at the power company and the water company also stayed home. So they had a limited staff. So when think about this, if you got a limited staff at the water treatment plant and the power company, then you don't have maintenance occurring, which is why you have the Green New Deal with Biden and all this construction going on, because nothing was maintained during COVID quarantine. So quarantine happens and you have maybe 1 or 2 people at the water treatment plant making sure the water is on, but no one is really maintaining the quality and level of water. You've had people come out in Mississippi saying we need $1 billion. Mississippi is saying it's the next Flint. Jackson, Mississippi is saying we're the next Flint and we need $1 billion to fix the water treatment plant. Because when I did my research, a lot of these things were created in the 1800s. It says like the modern day grids were created in the 1950s and the 1960s. So when we talk about the transportation highway, when we talk about the everything, bro, it came from the 1900s. We haven't been updated. We're living in the past. We're living in the past. So when we talk about power outages in Spain, when we talk about power outages in France, just to begin, like, how is it that these are whole countries? So I look it up. I'm like, okay, what is Spain? Number one, Spain is a monarchy under a king. How many people knew Spain is still a monarchy? It's democratic, it's capitalistic, but Spain is a monarchy under a king. It's one of the cheapest places to live in Europe because it has one of the highest unemployment and some of the lowest income ratios compared to Americans, right? But they always tell you, oh, it's so great to live over here. But they have this high unemployment, and it's cheap to live over there because nobody makes any money. So I look it up. So I say, how can Portugal, Spain, these are countries, these are not states, these are whole countries, different politics. Like I said, Spain is a monarchy. So France has a prime. France is like a whole nother thing, right? They got the king and queen of France, the king and queen of Spain. So you got a king in Spain. Number one, you have a king in Spain. In 2025, you have a king. So that means that king should be responsible for his people losing power in anything that transpires over there. So there's a king in Spain, number one. I don't want no tax dollars going to Spain because they got a monarchy. The king need to be selling jewels. The king need to be selling ass. The king need to be selling whatever. Because you got a motherfucking king. If you got a king, you don't need help from nobody else. Straight up. You got a king. The king is rich. The king should have been spending money and doing whatever he needed to do to make sure that his people had power. So number one, Spain is a monarchy in 2025 under King Felipe. King Felipe. And then I said, okay, so Spain is a monarchy. The power grid was built in the 1900s, going back to the 1800s. So I said, does Spain and Portugal share? And they said, yeah. Spain and Portugal share what is basically a power island, and it's a system of wires. Power island wires. This is the way you get power. And so I say, what's the main source of power in Spain? It's wind and solar. So let's take a look at this, and it's kind of boring. It's kind of boring, but let's go to Twitter, because Twitter gonna have more exciting stuff. But they're saying that power outage is possibly caused by an atmospheric river. Let's look at this video of what it looks like in Portugal. This is Portugal today. This is a bus driver. Now y'all know about Brexit. This is a bus driver in Portugal. Everybody black African. Now, and there's a white woman there, or let's say Portuguese. This is Portugal. This is not Portugal with the power out. This is what Portugal looks like. It's a European country. They are not telling the truth about what is going on in the globe. Y'all, we do not know what's going on in the globe right now. We are clueless in America. They got us in the bubble. My wife just texted me, I don't really feel good. I wonder if she could see me on the live stream. I got sick as a dog this weekend, man. I got real sick. I don't know if it was COVID or food poisoning or what, but even today I still felt like I didn't eat at all. So when you don't eat, you lose energy. So I still felt weak, but I'm like, I haven't done a live stream over the weekend, so I got to get my live stream in and got to feed the people, man. Got to give the people, give the people what they want. So look, this is a video of a bus in Portugal, just to give you conceptualize what it's like in the UK and these European countries that used to be predominantly white. What you need to extrapolate from this video is that the UK now it's a lot of things that to unpack from this video, because when they talk about the UK and the way the UK, if you hear Tucker Carlson talk about the UK and the way it looks, Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, we're talking about places, Austria, where Finland, where it was 80-90% white, for better, just to make it and to have this conversation to where everybody can understand it. We're talking about countries in Europe that were 80-90% white that look like this now. Now, what I extrapolate from this, so when they complain, they talk about Brexit, when they talk about you will not replace us, and they say in the countries that used to be 80-90% white now are 50. Some of them are majority non-white countries. What they said, like they try to associate it with crime and that something bad or wrong has happened. But the truth is, what has happened is the same thing that happened. And it's funny, we talking about Cleveland, but the same thing that happened where Donald Trump was talking about those Haitians. So, Dave Chappelle he lives out there in Cleveland, Ohio, right? And he lives in Ohio. So what happened in Ohio is Dave Chappelle talked about it. There were jobs that Americans wouldn't do. So the governor put out a call for people to work. The Haitians answered the call. 20,000 Haitians came, and he invited them to work. They came, they set up their homes, and they created a great family and a great infrastructure, and they helped the tax base there. So, but when you heard Trump talk about it, he associated with a criminal enterprise. If you notice, there ain't no ICE out there fucking with the Haitians, right? Because they came here legally and they were invited. So when I look at this video, you know what I see? I don't see criminals. People could get mad, right? And say that they're being rude. I agree. I don't like the way they shoved on the bus, but What I gotta do, y'all? I gotta block everybody again? It ain't even worth it to block everybody again. I gotta block everybody again? I don't understand. I'll block everybody if I have to, but it's like, I don't understand. Like, but it's cool. I don't even I'll block everybody if I have to. You know what I'm saying? I'll block everybody if I had to. All right. I don't know what's going on. It's the weirdest channel, man. But you know, I seen somebody else go through the same thing, man. It's the weirdest channel. But the racism right now in America, the racism in America right now is on 10, bro. I come on with my Minecraft and having a good time. You would think YouTube, it would be a good time to have. You know, it'd be a good time to have. It'd be fun. Nope. I got a few viewers in the beginning, and it's like soon as YouTube figured out who I was, they took the viewers away, and we don't get to have fun. We don't get to have a good time. I mean, we in the same box. We in the same box as Schuler Sanders. You know what I'm saying? And to man, I got to do this. My brother, who I watch, said do this for an hour, man. So you know, I'm gonna get some bullshit for the next couple of minutes, man, because uh, it it's it's so what do you think? I don't know how many of my audience watching currently understand Brexit, right? But this is a video from Portugal. We have a power outage in Spain, Portugal, France, and no, everybody in Portugal on the bus is black. Everybody in Portugal on the bus is black. So but the thing I take away from the video is that yes, everybody was being rude, but everybody was dressed like they were going to work and they were going to school, just like the Haitians who came to Ohio to work. And the Haitians in Ohio did job. 20,000 Haitians went. That's a lot of Haitians. It changed the whole demographic to where people in Ohio was concerned. 20 influx of 20,000 Haitians into your neighborhood changes the demographic. So what happened in Europe, and the reason why Brexit came about, is that Europe needed labor. Spain, Portugal, Britain, they needed labor. They needed dishwashers. They needed maids. They needed cooks, right? Hello? This is a service-based place. So Europe needed laborers. And Europeans weren't willing to do the labor. So again, when you look at this video and people want to say, oh, this is Portugal, and it's so bad to live in Portugal, and what happened to the European Union? What I see here is I see a white woman who ain't got nowhere to go. Now, if you look at all the black people, they are dressed well. Everybody hair is comb. Look, glasses. Everybody hair is calm. Everybody looks good. These people going to school and work, and there's a white woman blocking the door, trying to stop the black Portuguese from getting on the bus and going to work in school. It reminds me of Cleveland, Ohio, and the Haitians. These are not criminals. They're not going to sell dope. They don't have on thug attire. They're getting on the bus to go to work because Europeans wouldn't do the jobs that these Africans were brought into Europe to do. So what? So you never really unpack Brexit. I love to talk about Brexit. I talked about Brexit because I understood Brexit. When we talked about the Haitians in Ohio, I understood the Haitians in Ohio. I love when Dave Chappelle broke down the fact that we needed those Haitians, 20,000 Haitians in Ohio. But there's two sides to every coin. And the fact of the matter is, Americans wouldn't do those labor jobs in Ohio. You have 20,000 of one culture come in. That is very jarring. So we got to have a conversation of how we live together. Like, was it wise to bring in 20,000 at one time? Because what it does is it changes the quality of life of Americans who've been here for a long time. Because what those 20,000 people need a place to live, work, educate, and pray. And that's a lot of people in a Midwest town. So it starts to look like, it doesn't look like Ohio anymore. It doesn't look like Portugal anymore. It doesn't smell like Portugal anymore. It doesn't look like Spain anymore. When they talk about, it doesn't look like Finland. It doesn't look like Sweden. It used to be 80%. What is it? What we want to say? Finnish. We won't even say white or black. But it's now a racial mix. And that's why Brexit came up. But they don't tell you that Brexit came about. It was their fault. It's kind of like Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. Brexit came about because Europeans wouldn't do the work. And they needed laborers. And just like in America, they brought in laborers from Africa and they didn't leave. They brought in laborers, just like we bring in laborers from Mexico, and they don't leave. And so everybody gets upset, but don't nobody want to go pick the fruit in the Central Valley. So I live in Northern California, and I remember when the people in the Napa Valley with the grapes and everything got in trouble because they hire the Mexicans. When we talk about this border crisis and everything, there's so much that's not talked about. So farmers in America hire people. They're not called illegal aliens at this point. It's still like they try to get slave labor. Everything in America is still slavery. So farmers in America, to get cheap labor, or they could argue and say nobody in America wants to do the job, right? They hire Mexicans. They hire people from other countries, Chinese, Mexicans, wherever they can get them from. They hire laborers, and they come here on a visa. But the thing about the farmers and the Mexicans in California is this is part of the business model. They come every year, or supposedly this is what they told Americans. The Mexicans come here and they leave. Now think about this, and then finally, like Cesar Chavez and the Mexicans was like, man, come on, man, this is bullshit. You expect us to come here like for 6 months out the year. How do I create a home life back in Mexico if I got to come here and work for you the majority of the year? And then when they come here, they live here. So what happened with the E. coli breakout is that the Mexican farmers were rebelling, unionizing and rebelling for more rights and for better living conditions. In the modern age, we had people living like slaves, eating feces in the modern age. So the reason why the spinach was getting people sick is because the Mexican workers didn't have toilet paper, didn't have bathrooms, didn't have adequate housing. The white people was treating them like slave Negroes, throwing them out in the field, having them pick the spinach. Do you know 80 to 90% of the world's greens are grown in the Central Valley in Fresno? It's California has the fifth largest economy in the globe because we grow some stuff here that's only grown here and we grow it for the whole globe. So Mexicans were left out there without bathrooms and adequate ways to relieve themselves. And so they used the spinach to wipe their ass and it got on the spinach. And that's how people got sick with the E. coli. It resulted in a lawsuit against the farmers in California, and they had to build housing. When people found out, they were surprised. So people knew about migrant workers. Again, going back to Cesar Chavez. People knew about migrant farming and migrant workers going back to Cesar Chavez. But I think Americans just assume that everybody gets treated fairly, right? No one understood that the migrant workers worked here and lived here for so long out the year, and that it would be impossible for somebody to go back somewhere else and create a home. No one understood that the migrant workers who came and lived and worked here didn't have anywhere to live. We knew that they stayed here to pick the crops, but we just assumed that, where do you think slaves lived? Where do you think slaves lived? They always talk about the big house, right? And then sometimes you hear about slave quarters. It's akin to like where the slaves typically would sleep with the livestock. There was no separate designated housing for slaves because they weren't considered human. Now think about that. They would live and sleep with the livestock. Why would I build you a house and give you a bed when you're akin to a dog? When I'm gonna come wake you up in the morning? Think about what I'm saying to you. Why would I give a slave a bed when I'm gonna come wake you up in the morning? So in the modern age, you had Mexican or migrant farmers, migrant workers coming to America, picking your spinach, picking your microgreens, all you smoothie, healthy vegans, picking your microgreens and having nowhere to relieve themselves, having nowhere to sleep. There were no slave quarters. They were not American. They didn't treat them like humans. That's how you got the E. coli breakout. Then that is what forced them to build housing, and the housing is still not adequate, but don't nobody talk about that. I'm telling this story to lay the groundwork for understanding this video of why and how Portugal, because it don't look like Portugal. It looked like Kenya, Nairobi. But this is Portugal. This isn't Kenya. This isn't Nairobi. This isn't Africa. This ain't Chicago. This ain't Detroit. This is a Anglo-European country. Up until recently, before Brexit, was 80 to 90% white, Anglo, whatever you want to call it. And now, because of the same situation that took place in Ohio, where you don't want to do the labor, this is what it looks like in Portugal. Who does this white woman think she is? What is she doing? All these people need to get on the bus and go to work, go to school. This is very rude what is happening, correct. But everybody is dressed to go to work. So let's go to the power outage, because I think this is very odd. Now that we lay some groundwork, so now what they're saying is there's a power outage in 3 countries. I keep wanting to say states, but it's not a state, right? These are countries. So this is everybody had to get off the train. Everybody had to get off the train. Electricity out. I don't know if this is looting or what, The generators, these are the supermarkets. I don't know if people are looting. This is the supermarket. Like this is not no joke, man. This is not no joke, man. This is people in line to withdraw money. Look at this. Look at this. I didn't even think about that. But the machine is out. But the machine is out. Why? What? You can't get no money out the. You can't get no money out the ATM. The power is out. You can't get no money out the ATM. Look at this. It's like a movie, bro. Spain, Portugal, France, parts of Germany. They said it was an atmospheric. Come on, man. How are multiple countries out of power? So when I looked it up, it said that Portugal and Spain share power via some island that they work together to build. And that the number one source of power is wind. And because the number one source of power is wind, this don't make no sense because they would lose power all the time. And how could you so rely on a grid that would lose power when the wind blows? They basically saying, "Oh, we lost power because the wind was blowing." How do you maintain power for multiple countries if you lose power if the wind blows? That don't make no sense. Let's keep looking and see. Huge power cut causes chaos in Spain and Portugal as trains, traffic lights, and payments hit. Spain has its first week. Now, this is one story that I found that I thought was a good story. So it says here Spanish grid ran entirely on renewable energy for the first day on April. This is recently on April 16th, with wind, solar, and hydro meeting all peninsular electricity demand during a weekday. 5 days later, solar set a new record, generating 20,000 megawatts of instantaneous power, covering 78% of the demand and 61% of the grid mix. This was April 22nd, 2025. I was on mute. Josh, what's up? I was on mute. Oh, man. So let's read that again. Spain's grid ran entirely on renewable energy. Spain's grid ran entirely on renewable energy for the first time on April 16th, with wind, solar, and hydro meeting all peninsular electricity demand during a weekday. 5 days later, solar set a new record, generating 20,000 megawatts of instantaneous power, covering 78% of the demand and 61% of the grid mix. And this was April 22nd, 2025. What's up, Josh? So I thought that was interesting that Spain and Portugal is experiencing a power outage, but they just had a milestone. They just had a milestone on April 16th. So when I looked this up, Spain has one of the lowest power bills in the world. They attribute it to the fact that they have low income and high unemployment, but it also has a lot to do with the fact that they switched their grid to renewable energy, right? And on April 16th, the wind and renewable sources powered over up to 78% of the demand. But it's not just Spain. This is a power grid that's shared by Spain, Portugal, France, and parts of Germany. And they were able to supply over 80% of the power with wind. Now they do have 20% nuclear. So one of the things I'm worried about is the nuclear power plants. How long are they going to be okay with no power? And are we ever going to understand, honestly, what really happened? So I think to unpack what happened, you got to understand, like what happened in Texas, when people died in Texas, we needed to understand who owned the power in Texas. And a few more minutes, I can make it. I can make it. I can do it. I can do it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at more video. Here it is. Massive blackout caused by rare atmospheric phenomena. When we were having rain about a month ago, my wife kept saying atmospheric river. That's what they're calling the rain, an atmospheric river. Today, the blackout is being attributed to an atmospheric phenomenon from space. France, Spain. I'm a little under the weather, you guys. France, Spain, Belgium, Portugal were put into darkness. Airports shut, subways halted, commons disrupted. Portugal's grid operator blames a fault from a rare atmospheric phenomenon causing extreme temp swings in Spain. How can you trust this type of system? I don't believe it. Triggering grid oscillations and a chain reaction. Full recovery may take a week. I didn't know that. Full recovery may take a week. This is not that simple. This is like war. Because how do people get their money? You got to eat in 72 hours. You got to drink water. Like, you cannot imagine America. Imagine an American city, not a whole state. Because we talk about countries. Just imagine an American city losing power for more than 24 hours. Do y'all know what would happen if an American city lost power for more than... And we talking about a whole week. Right now, the government is supposed to be out. Right now. And I told you there's a king in Spain. So I don't even know if they have the infrastructure needed. Right now, you need to have government, local aldermen, councilmen, everybody out with a chair, with a table, giving instructions with water and with canned goods. So don't nobody start robbing and stealing and killing for food. Right now, you need to have infrastructure set up. Hey, for the rest of the week, you may be low on water. You may be low on food. Whatever you need, come to me. Don't go to the store. I got it. It's free. Right now, the infrastructure needs to be going up to protect the society. A week, I don't know one American city that would be safe for more than 24 hours without power. Straight up. So they got stranded on the train. They got stranded on the train, and now they got to walk. Stranded on the train. Huge power cuts, chaos in Spain, Portugal, trains, traffic lights, and payments hit. Come on, man. What else we got? What else can we share with the people on this? Okay, we got a conspiracy. We love conspiracies. We got a conspiracy. What this is? They know exactly what's happening. It's an EMP. Now I have heard the EMP. How many people think it's an EMP? I have heard. Now the reason why I would think foul play is because when I read that the energy bills have dropped by 20%, and with that news on April 16th that they see the energy bills in Spain dropping by, so people in Spain were about to experience a 50% cut in power bills because of the transition that Spain made to renewable energy. On April 16th, they celebrated a milestone that wind had provided coverage of over 80% of all the customers, which was going to ensure that people have to pay less money. That means somebody was going to lose money. I think the name of the energy company was called Red or something like that. So I find it strange because this happens every time somebody is about to win. It's like that old guy on the fish. Almost got it. Almost got it. Every time the people feel like we finally did it, y'all. We gonna get something, y'all. We gonna get. It's gonna be our turn. Nope. That money could be used for maybe extracurricular activities, or maybe purchasing a business, purchasing something to make the economy and the GDP stronger. A 50% cut in electricity bills, I'm telling you, as a person living in California with an exorbitant power bill, that would mean a lot to me and my family, bro. If they were to fix the power grid and Americans could save 50% on power bills simply because of efficiency. See, we live in a sick, perverted vulture type of capitalism that if that did happen, another company would pop up to go siphon that money from you so that you couldn't have it for yourself. And we don't have a political system that stops the vulture capitalism that says, no, that price cut is for the people. You don't get to devise a creative mechanism to siphon it back from them. We want the people to have that money. That's why we fixed the power grid. That's not happening. We almost coming up on an hour. Ooh, God is good, man. We're gonna watch this video like 7 minutes. Let's watch something on the power grid. We're gonna watch something on the power grid. Hold on, man. We're gonna watch something on the power grid. Do y'all think it was caused by EMP? I'm gonna go back to that story. Was blackout caused by EMP? Yes or no? Answer the poll. And I just got somebody new coming in the chat. It's Animesium. Hi, bro. Man, I only get trolls, man. It's so fucked up. All right. So it says here, they say, we know exactly what's happening. It was an EMP. We know that establishment social media influence will deny this fact. EMP denial, Nibiru cover up. The Europeans' blackout was not due to sabotage, nor solar activity, nor surge and power protector shutting down. I tend to, lean on that. Now let's see what it says here. It says solar activity nor surge protector shutting down, the grid nor heat wave ramping up consumption through all these possibilities will be mentioned because the establishment is still clinging to the Nibiru cover up. A bomb blast occurs in a single place, but flickering lights are a classic EMP signature. We have repeatedly stressed that the electronic screech from ripping our compressed rock arching to the charged tail of Nibiru magnify both fields, causing this type of EMP. We have predicted that the Africa roll will result in Gibraltar moving 125 further from east and 50 miles further south stretched on. This is a deep conspiracy right here. I don't know what the hell he talking about, Nibiru and all this. I think Nibiru is like a planet or some shit. I remember that from Hotep. You know, I'll be talking about Hotep shit a lot. So how do you make this bigger? Can I make this bigger? So, okay, here is, I'm glad we got this Spain and Portugal map right here so people could see. So this Portugal right here, and this is Spain. But where's France, right? Is Monaco. So France is right here. So they say their power grid is like an island, right? The power grid is like an island, and it connects power through grids and lines. So there's a power island, and there's lines going to Portugal, Spain, and France. And they want to say Germany also. So here's Madrid, Casablanca. There's a void. They doing their research on this conspiracy. I don't know what y'all think about this one. He got some followers too. They fucking with him on that one. Nibiru. I remember Nibiru, but I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole. Do y'all think it was an EMP? Does anybody think it was an EMP? If you're in Portugal and Spain, you don't have electricity. Power goes out in all of Spain and Portugal. The American mind cannot comprehend this. Wow. And people still shopping for food. How are they going to pay for food? Everybody probably in emergency, look at this. This is what it looks like in Spain right now. People got to shop for food. Look at this. This could not be America. How many people, God damn, how do I keep going to mute? We had an hour. I'm not going to fight with you, YouTube. We had an hour. I'm not going to fight with you. I don't feel good. I'm not going to fight with you, YouTube. Not at all.
Well, this is a station in Lisbon where the power outage, it's darkness underground, of course. Portuguese police say that the metro has been closed in both Lisbon and Porto too. Well, some of the cities affected by this, Madrid, Barcelona, Valencia, and Seville in Spain, as well as Lisbon, Faro, and Porto in Portugal. Andorra and parts of France have also seen some effects. Well, let's bring in our science and technology editor, Tom Clark, for some more on this. Afternoon to you, Tom. Good to have you here because there are some words here that you're going to need you to explain to me. Anomalous oscillations have led to a phenomenon known as induced atmospheric vibration.
Yes, it's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? And I think we should bear in mind at the moment that is information coming from Portugal's power grid operator. It hasn't yet been confirmed by the Spanish grid authorities. And I would say at this stage, it is unlikely that one single event when one thing might have precipitated this grid collapse, but it's likely that more than one thing went wrong, because a power grid failure of this scale, and we're still waiting to find out how many people have been affected, but you were just listing some of Europe's largest cities there across Spain and Portugal. This is quite possibly the largest outage we've seen in Europe, maybe not in history, but certainly for a very long time. And things like that don't happen for no reason.
Exactly.
And these grids.
Exactly. This is the biggest power outage. He was scared. He was scared to say what it was because he didn't want. I told you it's a monarchy. This is the biggest power outage ever. And he said things like that don't just happen. You cannot attribute something like this to the weather and expect the people just to keep. It's 2025. We have microcomputers attached to your wrists. How can they tell you this was the weather? How is that plausible? We in the Jetsons. You can talk to someone on your wrist like the Jetsons, and you're gonna let them tell you this was the weather?
Are engineered to be as reliable and dependable as possible, because they are, and I think we take them for granted while they're working. We don't realize just how much of a kind of plate spinning act keeping a large grid system, and this is a very large grid system that Spain operates across the whole of the Iberian Peninsula, some of it connected to, as you were saying there, directly to Portugal, also interconnects us to part of France, and it also supplies all of Spain's island nations as well around the mainland.
Now, was that smart? Now that we unpack this, I think this was if you were being strategic, think about if you were being strategic and you did, we don't know what happened, right? But if you were a strategic thinking person and you wanted to disrupt something, a broad disruption across the UK, and you understood that they had made such a strategic mistake as to align. Now, power is one of the major things when you in a war or a conflict. One of the first things they do is they took out your power, they take out your water, right? Because it's going to cripple your ability to fight the war. So you just hemorrhaged your whole security apparatus on the fact that you share power. Barcelona, Madrid, Lisbon, the biggest major cities in Europe, all on the same power grid, no backup power grid. Spain, Portugal, France, Germany, all on the same power grid, no backup power grid. We had a war with Ukraine. There's conflict in Israel. They want to go to war with Iran, and you got all of your power on the same power grid on a fucking island. What the fuck? Is that real? Like some of the things we've talked about lately, if we have common sense, it's like this is like the AI leak of the audio. It doesn't matter if the audio is real. It doesn't matter if this was an EMP. What I'm worried about as an intelligent thinking citizen is why the fuck is my power all linked to fucking gather? And if anybody who wanted to fucking go to war with the UK and cripple us, they could take out this one power plant and cripple 4 or 5 countries, 4 or 5 militaries, 4 or 5 banking systems. Who fucking idea was this? What fucking genius said link everybody's together with no fail safes and no backups? So the banking system, so they focusing on the trains and shit and supermarkets, but motherfuckers can't go to the bank. So you can't get money in Portland. You can't get money in Spain. You can't get money in Germany and France. Do you know what the fuck that mean? Who idea was this? Just on security. If we talking about making us a nation secure, one of the things you do is you protect the power plants. In every movie, in every war game, you got to put soldiers by the water treatment plant and by the power plant. Because if they blow up the power plant, you lost the war. And you telling me that a majority of the UK is sharing power on an antiquated 19th century power system? That's fantastic that you guys transition to wind and solar and you have renewable energy. So the source is a windmill, but it's still being pushed into 19th century power grid and using cables from the 19th fucking century. And it's one location. So now you expose. So now for the next week, what stops Russia? You know, everybody been fucking with Putin. Is Ukraine affected? Well, let's bring up a map. Let me bring up a map. Where's the Ukraine as it relates to Spain? Because all that shit is small over here. All that shit is small. You know, like New York. I always be surprised when people say they go from Philadelphia to Jersey to New York. For a person in California, we like that stuff is far apart to us because we grew up on the map in school, and I see Philadelphia and Pennsylvania is in a whole nother state. I'm like, how is Pennsylvania next to New York, and how is New York next to New Jersey? Because I'm from California. So for me in California, I don't see it as cities. I see it as states. I grew up memorizing the map just like everybody else at elementary school. So I'm like, New York is a state, like California, Nevada, Colorado, and nothing in Colorado was next to California. So how is New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey so fucking close together? And why are they so fucking close together? Because I'm on the coast. Like, I don't live in a state in the Midwest where you go to a certain part of the state and there's that four corner, like in the old blues where you go meet the devil and you go this way is one state, that way is another state, that way is another state, that way is another state, because we live in the Midwest. And at one point in one state, it borders on several different states. So you could be over here and you could be in this state, you could be in this state, you could be in this state. I didn't grow up with no shit like that. So when motherfuckers be like, "Oh man, I was in Philly and then I went to New Jersey and I went to New York," I'm like, "How the fuck did you do that?" So I want to see, where is Ukraine as it relates to Portugal, Spain, and France, and do you guys think the Ukraine could have been affected? What effects would that have? Okay, so here we go. Oh my God. I have been getting fucked with today. I ain't did nothing to nobody. I've really been getting fucked with today. I mean, people, I don't know, people flagging the channel. Man. Josh said, I'm in Maine, East Coast developed by geography. By the time we got developing our West, we were using a grid. Oh, okay. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. So if you look at this map, you got Portugal and Spain down here in the lower left, depending on your orientation. So we got Portugal, Spain, right here bordering Africa, which my wife always likes to talk about, because she's Sicilian. And a lot of people, when you talk about, like, you got Tangiers, Algeria, and Northern Africa, like, what's the difference between Africa and Spain? And is there a difference between Africa and Sicily? Is there a disconnect, or is it just because the European, like, think about what Josh just said. What separates Europe from Africa, truly? Like, is that connected? Is these things, look how they make the colors different, but is that connected? But anyway, let's keep going forward. So you got Spain, you got Portugal, you got France, we got Belgium, we got Germany. Now they told you that this power grid is carrying power via power grid lines to Spain, Portugal, France, and parts of Germany. So then you got Austria, you got Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Serbia, Romania, Moldova, and then you got the Ukraine, and you got Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, and that borders up against Russia. Now, anybody paying attention to the Ukraine, what you need to know is that all of those countries I named, that used to be part of the USSR, right? Ukraine, Belarus, all of those places used to be part of Russia, right? And that's what Biden was saying, oh, we got to protect, because he wants to, expand Russia and create the USSR again and take back these countries in Belarus and Ukraine. So on the map, Ukraine looks far Spain. How many actual miles is it, right? Because if the power grid goes from Portugal, Spain, France, and Germany, is it possible for some of that power to end up in the Ukraine? How far, and it doesn't have to be Portugal to the Ukraine, but how far is Germany from the Ukraine? Y'all remember on some maps at the bottom, they would say how far a mile was. Y'all remember that on maps? It would say how far a mile was. It's not giving me that, but it looked kind of close, don't it? Germany, Ukraine. Now, when we go in, could this be some type of attack related to what is going on in the globe? There's Germany, there's a Ukraine. It looks kind of close to me. Y'all heard about the Azov Battalion, the Nazi fighters who were enveloped and folded into the Ukraine that were part of the 2014? It looks kind of close to me. So they want us to believe that in 2025, when you have a conflict in your back door, a global conflict, an existential conflict with one of the greatest world powers, Russia and Putin, you have this going on in your back door. We have another global conflict in Israel, and that could spill over to Iran. This is what today, this is our current. This is what the world we're living in. This is our world. We don't talk about it. It's more fun to talk about Schuler Sanders and Fifth than to talk about the fact that Ukraine, we're still in war in Ukraine. It's been several years where Israel is still at war, could spill over to Iran. That is the status quo. So all of these things are true. And then you're going to tell me we lose power in Portugal, Spain, France, and Germany, and you want to blame it on the rain. Yeah. You can blame it on the rain because the rain don't care and the rain don't mind. It was an atmospheric phenomenon. Despite we damn near in World War III. A lot of times I say, what would it take for us? What would it take for normal, everyday citizens to be concerned? I don't know anymore. I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer, but I can tell you that with the conflict in the Ukraine, the conflict in Israel, the potential for conflict in Iran, with Brexit, with BRICS, this is not the weather. You don't lose power in multiple countries in a monarchy and it be the weather. There's so much Americans. So when we talk about we don't want to give money to Ukraine, this is what I believe we should focus on, things like this. Understanding that Spain is a monarchy. Spain is working with France. Spain is working with Poland. Spain is working with Germany. They all share a power grid. Why do you need money from the U.S.? Why does anyone over there need money, military, guns, anything from the U.S.? You still have a king and you're pooling power and wealth, but Americans don't benefit from that. I don't benefit from Germany, Poland. I thought these countries were not so friendly. Come to find out, not only are they friendly, but they pool wealth. I told you they had a 20% drop in their power bill. They are going to lose another 20%. So my question is that everybody in Spain? Now think about, I'm in America, greatest country in the world. We take care of them. We protect them. Our military, our Navy. Remember what I told you about aircraft carrier. Have you ever seen a Spanish aircraft carrier? Have you ever seen a Portuguese aircraft carrier? You're not going to fucking see one because we're motherfucking America, right? We protect them, put them to fucking bed. We give you a bottle and a fucking binky. Portland, Spain, all of you motherfuckers live a great life in Europe because of America and American soldiers and American ingenuity and American inventions. But these motherfuckers is pooling resources. They got us Paris Climate Accord. Don't you think about Trump took us out of all of this bullshit. Biden put us back into this bullshit. You don't even understand how the UK works. Why the fuck am I in a Paris Climate Accord? Why am I in anything over there? Why the fuck? I don't give a fuck about Brexit. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. Why am I in anything that you got to do with? I don't have a power. I don't got the wind power. You're not pooling energy with me. You don't share wealth with me. Why the fuck am I in any type of organization in Europe? Why and how the fuck am I in anything climate associated with Europeans? We didn't understand how fucking stupid that was. But you know what? No one has brought it up. The Paris Climate Accord. This climate EPA bullshit that Trump said is fucking over Americans because Americans don't benefit. Now you see how and why we didn't benefit from the Paris Climate Agreement, because we're not fucking benefited from your power. How the fuck can you make us agree, Biden? That was some bullshit. How can Biden put us on the same accord as Paris, Portland, Spain, and these motherfuckers are sharing power? These motherfuckers, majority of their power coming from wind. Y'all don't understand how y'all got fucking played in our money. We'll be at Paris Climate Accords. We'll guarantee. So our companies, American companies, this how the fucking pensions and the taxpayer dollars and everything go fucking down the fucking drain. Yeah, we'll agree. We'll agree our companies will do everything. Our companies will do this. American companies we want to save the world. Fuck you, Biden. Fuck you, Democrats. Fuck you, liberals. No one unpacked it. No one unpacked it. The Paris Climate Accord. It doesn't jive. Why the fuck are we with them? Paris Climate Accord. Man, get the fuck out of here. These motherfuckers is pooling resources, man. These motherfuckers is pooling resources, sharing resources. Neela Bean Davis said, when money is involved, everyone is friendly. Ain't that something? Neela Bean said, hello from Israel. Germany to Ukraine is 900 miles. Josh said, Germany to Ukraine is 900 miles. That's close. That's like 3 or 4 days. Not 3 or 4 days, but like 8 hours, 12 hours. Let's say 100 miles is 2 hours. So that's what, 8 hours? Less than 8 hours. Less than 8 hours to get to the Ukraine. I don't know, man. I don't think this is as simple as they saying, bro. I don't know. I don't think this is as simple as they saying, bro. At all. At all. And they say it was an atmospheric phenomenon. Don't that sound like a cyber attack? That sounds like a cyber attack. He said what they're saying is that the wind tricked the system. Oh man, I'm so happy it happened.